What's your name?
Meg.
Australia's Milly Alcock has burst onto the scene of late, and after starring in both Upright and House of the Dragon, it seems she now has the TV world at her feet. And the young starlet has recently been discussing her breakout role and her journey to the top. Today, we're discussing Milly's road to get to House of the Dragon, and a couple of things you might not have known about her. Stay tuned.
Cool. This is the look. And now we're ready to go. So we're gonna go.
Let's get straight into it then. Milly has been discussing her Upright roots. One of her first truly big roles was an Australian road trip comedy, Upright, alongside comedian Tim Minchin. And speaking recently, Milly reveals she knew from the beginning that she wanted to play this character. Alcock believes that she had something of a kinship with the character, who starts off as something of an immature brat. Milly then revealed how when she first met Minchin, she begged him to cast her, before explaining that the show has provided the platform for her career. And discussing the makings of the first season of Upright, Milly said, "It was incredibly exciting. I was 18. I had just dropped out of school, and I went and I traveled around Australia for 3 months shooting a TV show. I'd never worked like that in my life. I'd never gotten a part like that ever, and I just wanted to do it so well." She remembers feeling that she could not mess up her big chance, explaining that she told herself, "I have to do this right." She also revealed how it was a massive learning experience, considering how she was away from her family, but she must have done something right as she was brought back for the second season. And in season 2, she explained that she didn't know if it was even going to happen, but considering her chemistry with Minchin, it was always in the cards, right? Have you guys seen Upright? So how did she make the jump from small-scale Australian TV to HBO? Of course, transitioning from small-scale national TV to a global broadcaster such as HBO is no mean feat, and many actors simply don't have what it takes to pull it off. But our girl Milly isn't just any actor, and her particular jump appeared pretty seamless. But it wasn't all sunshine and roses, as she explained that it was actually incredibly daunting. She revealed that it was the most scared she had ever been for anything, and explained that there was an overwhelming feeling of having to prove herself. It turns out that most people on the production were actually British, and as an Aussie, she remembered how at times it was pretty lonely, since she didn't know anyone in London. Instead, she decided to jump into her role head first, and focus on the task at hand, and it paid off. She carried on. You realize that it's all the same. People are lovely and they're the same. And just the way that it functions is different and bigger because there's more cogs in the machine than there is in a smaller production like Upright and like other jobs I've done before. She also revealed that a lot of people noticed her situation and decided to look out for her, which was nice of them and somewhat surprising. Milly hadn't even seen Game of Thrones before being cast, adding, "I knew the reputation it had, I knew the status of it, but I hadn't seen it until I booked the job." Wow! What else did Milly have to say then? Stay tuned to find out. Well, both of her roles in Upright and House of the Dragon show the young actress playing strong young women, one considerably stronger than the other, considering the fate of Westeros lies in her hands. And while discussing both roles, Milly explained that it was simply something of a coincidence that it had turned out that way, saying, "Until House of the Dragon, I haven't been able to pick and choose. I still can't really pick and choose. I'm so young, I'm still starting out." As Milly was explaining that she doesn't think she has what it takes to play specific types of roles, she did admit to wanting to play everyone, but said that sometimes you just read a part and you know you cannot play that character. She suggested that at this stage of her career, she simply has to lean into parts of who she is. Of course, House of the Dragon has brought her worldwide fame, but she has since admitted that it is still somewhat unexpected. She referenced the fact that some people were claiming it could be a flop because it's a prequel, but that was never going to be the case. Milly went on to reveal that since the show, her opportunities have changed massively, suggesting that a Pandora's box has been opened. Milly also discussed that she still sees herself as the same person, but also added that it's just tricky, as fame has hit her and she can barely use a washing machine. We're discussing some things you might not know about Milly coming up next. Starting with schooling, you might be surprised to learn that as she bagged her first big break as Meg in Upright, she was still a pupil at Sydney's Newtown High School of the Performing Arts. However, after being offered the role by Aussie comedy legend Tim Minchin, she decided to quit her schooling to fully focus on her burgeoning career. Of course, if you have seen the show, you will know that the filming took place in various parts of the Australian countryside, so Milly would have had had to miss huge parts of her curriculum anyway. But it turns out the gamble paid off, and then some, as she went on to bag the role of Rhaenyra on the back of her work opposite Minchin. Playing Meg also won Milly the 2018 Casting Guild of Australia Rising Star Award, and as such, opened up a lot more doors for her. Speaking about her decision to leave school, Alcock said, "I knew that this opportunity would be so much more of a valuable experience than getting my piece of paper. I was like, no, this is what I've been working towards, and I've been given this amazing opportunity with this amazing cast, with this beautiful script." I mean, she really should be commended for taking such a big risk, and we're glad it all worked out well for her. Did you guys know she dropped out of school? Next up, she made a pretty solid friend while filming House of the Dragon. As we previously mentioned, Milly had to relocate to the English capital of London during filming of House of the Dragon, and as such really didn't know anybody. She jumped into the challenge with both feet, however, and ended up making a lifelong friend. The Game of Thrones prequel show filmed in the midst of the pandemic in the UK, when people were experiencing real lows. So just imagine what it was like for Milly Alcock, a young girl in a foreign country on the other side of the world who didn't even have her family there to comfort her. Admitting to feeling a little out of her depth, Milly revealed that the cast and crew supported her in a big way during that trying time. In particular, her on-screen friend, nemesis Emily Carey, who played her friend Alicent Hightower, who would go on to seduce and marry her on-screen father, King Viserys. And speaking about what Emily means to her, she explained, "We met virtually before the show and both had the same feelings about this job," before adding that their similarity in age meant they could relate to each other, and so a sort of kindred relationship developed. She then added, "I adore Emily. I'm very protective of her. I feel like she's my little sister." Who was your favorite character on House of the Dragon? And finally, Milly is an avid photographer. Stay tuned to hear about it. A quick perusal of Milly Alcock's Instagram account will reveal a keen interest in photography from the young Australian actress. Of course, as an artist herself, this might come as a little surprise, but she is actually pretty good at it, and she has taken some pretty classy snaps. Like many other people, Milly picked up a new hobby during lockdown, which turned out to be photography. Among some of her pictures she has taken is one of a group of Parisian children playing outside, seemingly oblivious to the fact that they are about to become semi-famous via the Instagram account of Rhaenyra from House of the Dragon. Milly explained that for her, the photo was full of beauty, saying, "Some people might see the photo of the kids in Paris and say, oh, the composition is wrong. It's a bit slanted. I think the beauty is in the mistakes because it's alive. The ability to control an image and evoke a certain feeling is what drew it to me." Fair enough. I mean, if we all saw things the same way, it would be a very boring world, right? As usual, thanks for dropping in on us today, and remember to tune in again next time for some more fun reveals. And why not do us a solid by liking and sharing today's video, while also sharing it with any Milly fans you guys might have lurking on those social media accounts. Bye guys!